come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Village Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Roderick F. Daly. Joining me is our executive producer and part-time host, Andre Doman. And, really excited to be here, where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us to realize our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today. Andre, my background is looking really kind of shabby, but it's gonna have to go from there. How you doing?
Doing good, doing smooth. Another day, thankful, grateful, just going forward.
The year is winding down, and it's time for people to start making resolutions for 2025. So what's the biggest resolution? What do people make resolution for? I want to ask that question now. Also, hey everyone, and welcome our villagers to our radio talk show. Blessings to each and every one of you for joining us today on another Thursday. So thank you, villagers. Feel free to respond, say hello, and let us know what you're thinking. So number one, what is number one on the list?
Resolution.
Mm-hmm. That's number one on the
list. I think people just make get resolutions so that way they can have like an accountability factor to it, but
I disagree. I don't think there's no accountability factor.
No, they make it to have that, because it's like the year start. Okay, I want to get something started. Oftentimes, people end up relapsing, and even when I hear about resolutions nowadays, I say start now. Let's start it now.
Well, in my mind, John, can you hear us? I know you were having issues hearing us before. Can you hear now?
No, I can't hear.
Hey, we can hear you though. We can hear you, John. So, and so can the audience. Right? I don't believe that people make resolutions to be accountable. It's a terrible thought about that, but I think people just make the resolutions because it's something to do. Not because it does anything, because most people make the same resolution about living a healthy, safe life or losing weight. but most people, a very high percentage of the people fail at the resolution. Do you know
Wait,
why? Do you know why, Andre?
wait, hold on, John. You hearing us or no?
I hear you very faintly, man. Very low.
Oh, so maybe you might have to turn up your phone, the volume on the phone itself, or something.
I did already. I did.
But as long as you can keep hearing us, we good. We can. You're loud and clear.
Yeah, it's probably the phone.
So if
But I
you
need to hear y'all guys.
are you hearing it? How faintly are you hearing?
Go ahead, man. I'll try to do what I can.
Yeah, but we can hear you perfectly clear. All right. You heard that? We can hear you
Yeah.
perfectly clear. All right. So I think, like I said, I think people make New Year's resolution because it's the thing, right? It's the thing to make a resolution. But the fact of the matter is they fail, right? And why do you think they fail? What are some reasons why you think New Year's resolution fail?
So I'm saying it's like the goal sometimes it's not a SMART goal, the SMART, measurable, realistic. It's probably sometimes so ideal, like there isn't a good plan to get it going. But the idea of just making that goal itself gets people started,
I don't think it gets them started. So we have to, as the villagers, I think we have to, like you said, get them prepared for what kind of resolutions that they need to make. And you hit it on the head. And we talk about it like almost every year. You have to make SMART resolutions, right? SMART, capital S, capital M, capital A, capital R, capital T, right? So S means your goal has to be specific. So you can't say, I want to lose weight, right? That's an ambitious belief, right? You have to say, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? I want to lose 15 pounds. Whatever that number is, it has to be very specific. Okay? It has to be measurable, right? Measurable basically means how you're going to do it. How are you going to do it? What are the ways that I'm going to buy a scale, right? If it's weights, right? I am going to buy a scale.
Speaking of, I just got a scale the other day. It tells you everything, man.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to buy a scale. Like you said, it's going to do all of these different things. Okay. It has to be attainable, right? You can't say you're going to lose 100 pounds next year and you weigh 250, right? You're not going to lose 100 pounds in 1 year if you weigh 250, even if you do the surgery.
I mean, you can lose that amount.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
You cannot.
You have to be. You can. But the thing is that you talk about the measurable part, and you have to break the goal down in steps. For some people, time is a factor. For some other people, it might be dieting. That's just what it is for a lot of people.
Then here's my question to you. How do you propose that a person loses 100 pounds in a year?
It varies, man.
I'm not saying a person cannot lose 100 pounds in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that someone who weighs 250 pounds is not attainable to lose 100 healthily.
Yes, no, I disagree. I would disagree. And
Right.
Benev, I agree with Benev. But I
Yes.
disagree. You say you shouldn't be waiting. Should start now.
No, that I agree with. Right.
Yeah.
That I agree with.
But I think in 1 year a person could
No,
lose.
wait. Again, listen what I said.
Mm,
I said it has to be attainable and realistic. A person that weighs 250, a person that weighs 400 pounds, right,
mm,
can lose 100 pounds in a year
mm,
because they have the weight to lose. You get what I'm saying?
mm,
So, like, for example, you weigh what, 190, close to 200,
mm,
right? You're going to say you're going to lose 50 pounds. Is that realistic?
mm,
Right? Is that healthy? Right? Saying you're going to lose 10, 15 pounds or you're going to gain 10, 15 pounds, that's realistic, right? To keep your weight. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it attainable? Is
yeah.
it realistic? And is it timely? Can I get it done by the end of the year? And the other question is why?
Excuse me.
Why do you want to lose 50 pounds?
Right.
Why do you want to lose 100 pounds? Right? So those things are important. You don't just put yourself out there and say, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Why are you going to do it? If you don't have a perspective, then you're not going to follow through because you're not having a perspective.
Mm,
Or if you want to do it for somebody else. Right? You wanted to lose weight for somebody else is one of the worst things that you can do. Right? Your goal is based upon somebody else.
that
To make somebody else happy. Right?
yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Ask it again. Ask it again.
Do you believe making goals based upon somebody else is going to make you happy?
Oh no. If it's based on somebody else, then no.
Right. But you don't have
But then I'm like,
purpose.
'cause I just find it's just all this is you often so varied, you know. Like if for me really, if I'm making a goal based on somebody else, then yeah, definitely not gonna make me content or joyous or anything like that. I'm thinking somebody who look up to other people with such praise, really, that they'll go in and make that effort, make the goal and all, you know. We want them to be making it for themselves. But yeah, people make those goals based on other people. And you know, the success or the praise for accomplishing that goal, if the person that they based it on gives them the acknowledgement that they want, you know, a constant encouragement and all, they might, you know, they could be getting happy. You know, I don't think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's a fair point, right?
Yeah.
Getting cheered on or getting motivated is a very good thing, right? It's a definite plus, right? In terms of what you need to do to get it done. But doing it because it makes somebody else happy, you're doing it, you feel that this will make that person happy, right? That's extremely negative.
Yeah.
Right? Extremely negative because it might not, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man meets you, you weigh 280 pounds, he meets you, start talking to you, he likes you, he's dating you, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, you're like, oh, I need to help out my marriage, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I lose 100, I go get the surgery. You're not exactly who he married, right?
Mm-hmm.
So health-wise, hey, listen, I need to be healthy. I need to do this. I need to lose some weight. I need to do this for myself to ensure that I am around for a long period of time, right?
Yep.
So that becomes relevant in the conversation. So I think it's important with that. But so ladies and gentlemen, please be certain that when you're making these resolutions, that you make them so that you can reach them. Don't make them don't make a resolution because it's the in thing to do. Right? People do it. Oh, they're making one, so I make one too. No.
Mhm.
Right? Do it because you want to. Agreed?
Mhm.
All right. So we have a lot of things going on, and we have a couple of things that we have to discuss. What do you think? The big thing, let's start with the small big thing, and then we move on to the next big thing. Historically today, the President of the United States of America commuted over 1,500. Hi, Jennifer. How you doing? I'm going to be in a What was that? What does that say? I'm going to be a relationship counselor. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Just a fair point, though. Again, we're just talking. Like, it's just a fair point. You're not doing something for somebody else. You're doing it for you and the hopes that they help build a relationship. That's all I'm saying. I'm definitely not trying to be a relationship counselor. I'm bad at relationships, so I would be the last person to be counseling. Andre is better at it than I am.
I don't know how that, but I mean,
so,
you're married for a while now, so
17. What is it? Going on 18 years, right?
Mhm.
So Joe Biden pardoned. What did I say? He pardoned
1,500.
1,500. No, not pardoned. He commuted the
Commuted,
sentence. That means he stopped, get out of jail free, and then he pardoned, which means he forgave another 39. Was it 39 or 15 people, right, who were sent to jail on federal charges? Right. Oh, by the way, the president of the United States, why Donald Trump is still in trouble is because his sentence is at the state level, not at the federal level. So he wasn't found guilty at the state level. He was found guilty at the federal level. So people just you need to we need to understand the difference between the two. So the governor pardons at the state level, the president pardons at the federal level. Okay. So what do you think? You think that the president of the United States should have the power to pardon?
Considering, yeah, I mean, you the leader of the quote unquote free world. So even being able to, look at the system itself, as I mean, people will look at you as the highest power who can making sure that the fairness that is given towards people is actually fair.
Yeah, 39. Yeah, 39 is the right number. Yeah,
So
39 pardoned.
Though the checks and balance that we have in place seems like it's not necessarily utilized so much, because I mean, Trump say he's gonna do what, his pardons and commutations when he get in, and people on the other side of the coin, or the political spectrum, may not necessarily consider, wouldn't consider some of those that he's gonna do to be fair. So It's something that's possibly debatable.
You know what I like? I love politics.
Mhm.
The Republicans are complaining about the pardons that that the Democrats are doing,
And the Democrats gonna complain about theirs.
but what they're complaining about is at the same time the incoming president plans to pardon, and when he left office, he pardoned a significant number of individuals. Right when he left power in 2020.
And Jennifer also gave us some more, which
Yes, that these were all of the low-level offenders who were under house arrest of offense committed by. Well, yes, so right. So the 1,500 that he commuted were low-level offenses. The pardons were higher level offenses. But at the end of the day, right? I agree with you, Andre. As the president of the United States, it's within your power. I mean, we spoke about last week where he pardoned his son, right? He pardoned his son. Right?
yeah,
Yes, nonviolent offenders, right. And the average person said, why wouldn't I pardon my son? It only makes sense,
right.
right? Why should I watch my son for nonviolent crime rot in jail? That doesn't make sense, right? Right? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so, as a political party, we have to start agreeing that it is within your right. We might not agree with it if you're on the other side of the political spectrum,
Yep.
but your party, if your party chooses not to utilize their power, then whose fault is that, right? And like I said, if I were to be the president of the United States and I had the power and my child committed a low-level infraction or a non-violent crime, I am going to pardon my child, right? Right.
I
And
would do the same. I would do the same.
right. And so no way that I am going to allow that. So kudos to Joseph Biden for utilizing his power. The other thing is the Congress want to increase federal judges, and he plans to veto it. You know, to me, as a black man, I have some concerns, right? Because they want to make the federal court system more to the right. And you and I both know that the more right the court system goes, the more racially divided it becomes. So we don't want the court system to go right. We want it to stay more moderate so that individuals of color can get a fair shake, right? Can get a fair shake in terms of government. Let's see if John can. Let's try John again. John, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys faintly. I don't know what's going on with my device this evening, man.
It's the phone. Something with the microphone or the volume.
It's maybe, yeah, within the microphone. But we can hear you. If you can hear us a little bit, it's fine as long as you can hear us faintly and you can respond. So we're talking about, John, the presidential power and the federal veto that he plans to do with the judges. The ability to pardon. and commute sentences. Do you agree with that power? And do you also
Yeah,
agree?
that's the power of the presidency. So what's, why is it an issue? Why is it becoming an issue now?
Again, why is it becoming an issue? Because the opposite party is not in power and they're leaving office, and they're upset about a lot of the pardons and the commuting of several sentences. And right, so I'm like, hey, kudos to him.
Why?
Utilize,
Because of the issues? Because Biden pardoned his son? Now it's becoming an issue?
yeah, must be. Oh, he's not a man of his word. It's my son. It's non-violent. It's a non-violent act.
Well,
Please.
Roger, that's the hypocrisy of that's the really his hypocrisy of the whole political process. You
Right.
know, if our party is in a position to do so, you get the supports, but then you get, the whole issue with Biden. I don't know if Kamala had won the presidency. I don't know, and Biden subsequently did this. I don't know if it would be an issue. I think it's all become an issue because Trump, he won fair and square, electoral college, and he won the popular vote.
Exactly. I agree that he did.
So you know what, we all need to just, as my pastor Bernard said, we need to step back because this is not our plan. This is God's plan. And, we're going to make it through the storm no matter who's president. We just get caught up with all the, politics has become so personal. How personal can politics become when you really don't, only time you get involved is when we talk about the presidential election instead of being involved in your local races, because local races are the ones that impact you on a day-to-day basis.
I don't want to, like, I remind people all the time, right? You meet,
Speak a little louder, brother.
you meet and greet your local elected officials, but the higher up they go, the harder it is to meet them. You know, when you meet them at a distance, at a fundraiser, when they need to raise money, at an event where they need to get out the vote, at a church where they're speaking from the podium, right? Very rarely, even with Congress, that you can just walk into the congressional office and meet the congressperson, right? But you can meet your senator, right? Your senator will come to an event. Your city council will come to an event. Your community board person, I'm at every meeting almost, are accessible to a lot of the membership and the community. But it's Chuck Schumer I very rarely see. Governor Hochul, I think I've seen twice. Right? Mayor Adams, I've seen him a couple of times at few events, but not the same level that I spoke to him at when I was at Bar President. I've never met Joe Biden, ever. I've never met Donald Trump, right? Kamala Harris or J.D. Vance. I've never met any of them. But people are still flocking to those individuals, what you're talking about, John. Like they're going to sit down and have a sip of tea with them. So I don't know. The other big, say it again. You broke up.
What's the thing?
You're breaking up again.
Can you hear me?
You sound like a robot, but yes. Yeah, John, go ahead and speak now. John. He can't hear us, Andre. That goes to our next topic with Danny Penny. Right? He was found not guilty of all charges. The DA, for those of you who are unaware of Daniel Penny, he is the young man that was charged with chokehold in the train station where he killed the homeless person. All right, he killed the homeless person because he felt like he was threatening and deliberate. What are your thoughts, Andre? Andre? You're
I'm
muted.
saying, I was muted, but as I told, be not guilty on all charges. It definitely brings up questions about, as people say, racial bias, and even being what they call it, not citizen arrest, but just more so being in a place wherein you feel like you should try and help in a situation, but then if you cause harm, you don't get any. You don't get the consequence or anything like that. I think that's problematic, really. You the very fact that put the man in a chokehold. Feel like there's other ways he could have immobilized him. Really, you didn't have to choke him. But I mean, and then it depends on who. What's up, Danelle? My homie, we just commented. And she said, politics have become extremely potent. Oh yes, free of charges. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think even I'm just shocked that he was not guilty on any charges. But then again, it's just like being shocked. I feel like for a lot of people, it's like an expectation that he wasn't gonna be charged at all. But that's also sad because it's like you get comfortable, or not necessarily the word comfortable, but it's like being used to getting the short end of the stick.
So here's what I really think. Part of what I think, not completely all that I think.
I mean, I hear what Dennis is saying there. I'm just saying there's other ways. If you're bold enough to go up and try to prevent the homeless man from doing any harm, the first thing you go to is choking him. Could have do something else. I'm just saying, that's what I'm thinking. Go ahead, Roger.
I think there have been opportunities where people have talked about, discussed, demonstrated, refused to exaggerated, embellish, and I could go on with words, the fear in the subway, the fear of walking into New York City. That fear, I think the jury saw that. I was able to empathize with that fear, right? Right. A.M. Dimitri said, people are shocked because they don't understand the law. In addition, people only care now. They didn't care when he attempted to kidnap a 7-year-old, or whether he broke the nose of an elderly man. Did he do all of that? He attempted to kidnap the one that died. Who attempted to kidnap Dennis?
So not even known information also plays into people's
Yeah, right.
beliefs. So,
I don't, but I think the fear that has been driven through the law. Who was previous? You're saying previous. Who the assailant or the victim? Right. Who? I know the assailant had many arrests. So are you talking about him? Or are you talking about the assailant? Which one are you talking about? I mean, that's the Danny Penny. He had the military, showed that he was an honorable person, he was an honest person. He was this, he was that. That made a difference. It showed a different light of the person, how he was trained to protect. Right? Oh, right, the deceased. That's what I thought. The victim. Right? And he presented a real threat. Right? I would have been threatened. Somebody threatening to kill you, somebody doing this, somebody doing that. I don't know. I would be afraid, I think. And all those things. Remember, we've had even a number of people who are on the show who are villagers who said, we're not taking the train. We're not even getting involved in taking the train. So at the end of the day, I could actually see why they acquitted him. As sad as it sounds. Not to mention, if the glove doesn't fit, we must acquit.
and to your point, to Roderick, really, I think even like an outsider who may not necessarily understand even the information that may have been put forth or whatever the context is, it definitely could be surprising if you're constantly seeing how unfair the justice system is. So the more information you may know, the more that also helps. So even Dennis put in some additional information here. Context, it varies, depends on who is dealing with it. So
that's part of it as well. And one of the things that people bring up is the character of the person, the character of the victim. What was the victim like? He was worthy or not worthy of the atrocity that has happened to them, right? That comes up. In the past 12 years, I've even refused to take the subway because I would have been bounded to take action. The frequency of crimes was too much. Real issue, real issue, right? So 12 years is a long time, right? I haven't taken public transportation in 5 years. All right, 4.5 to 5 years, I've not taken public transportation. Wasn't really because of safety, but I think I have some level of trepidation about taking public transportation.
See, and I've taken public transportation, I think this year.
Yeah, once?
This year, maybe once. Last year, once, twice. So I paid my dues to society.
So you are an expert on the negativity of the subway station.
I took it twice. So listen, can't say I don't take it. Okay, twice. That's good enough.
All right.
Good night. Good night. How's everyone doing?
All right. That's kind of scary. I don't really have. Yeah.
I don't like to take.
You know what I thought about? There are a couple of murders. And I remember back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
In the 90s and the late 80s, you were getting robbed, you were getting beat up, you're getting hurt on the subway. I actually remember my cousin likes to share the story where something was happening and he ran over to my dad because he saw my dad at the subway, and he said, "Oh, my dad kind of saved him." Like he ran over to my dad and he hugged him. All right, this is the early 90s, and I also remember in the mid 90s where I had to save somebody's life. Right, he got stabbed. You see the blood spewing through the back. You know, so it was scary back in the 80s and 90s, right? And the subway is a lot safer, but people still don't feel safe, right? People still don't feel safe on the subway. So you don't know, right? And we need to work on it. So what is this now?
All right. What else is happening?
Oh, there are a lot of things. Oh, let's go on to the next. Oh, before we do that, Andre, you want to go to commercial till we come back?
Yeah. I must step off a little bit after to come back on.
Run the commercial first, please.
Hold on a second.
Want to get your personal income tax, business corporate tax, self-employment tax, quarterly tax, payroll tax, or sales tax filing done professionally?
Yeah.
Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and take the worry out of your personal and business life. Tax compliance issues should be left to the pros. So when you want your business to grow, call the pros because a successful business matters. U.S. Bear LLC also handles accounting, bookkeeping, business startups, consultation, real estate, and many more services. Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and ask for Howard DaCosta, CEO, to book a 1-hour evaluation at no cost to you. Take remote control of all your needs and U.S. Bear LLC will follow your lead. Want to work but don't have a social security number?
Yes!
Find out about getting a tax ID to pay your taxes. Call U.S. Bear LLC or log on to www.usbear.com. Team up for success.
Call Howard Housing Solution today for all your real estate needs. Sellers, we can get top dollar for your home, and our vast network of professionals can facilitate your move and help you purchase your dream home in another state. Buyers, we have a pulse on the market and can get you in a home quickly. Property owners, we can manage your property efficiently and allow you peace of mind. So why wait? Call Howard Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560 for your sale, purchase, or property management needs. Conveniently located in East New York, Brooklyn. You can come to us at 577 New Lots Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, or we can visit in the comfort of your home. Call Howard's Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560. Howard Housing Solutions, real estate simplified.
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouthwatering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
Hey, I'm looking at Dennis's response that says, because of this arrest, before I move on to the next topic, I think no. I think the opposite. I think because of this arrest and the fact that he was found not guilty for reacting to save lives, I think it will be different. Right? I think it will be different. I think people recognize that if you're a good Samaritan, you'll be looked at differently. And, you will not go to jail. You might get arrested because anybody can get arrested, but you will not go to jail. So I don't know. I disagree. Luigi Maglione, Joanne's best friend, was found guilty. No, not found guilty.
They're
He
arrested.
was arrested for allegedly being the sole person in the assassination of Brian Thompson.
He 3D printed a gun. He got arrested. He's in charge for that too.
Your son.
You hear my son? He
Yes.
3D printed a gun and he got charged for that too. He got charged with 5 counts in Pennsylvania, and he's fighting extradition to New York for murder, which he will lose. Right? He has a manifesto that talks about the healthcare system.
1 second.
Right? He had a manifesto that talks about the negative effect of the healthcare system. I'm wondering why my screen is coming on like that. Let's try to turn it this way a little bit. Right? And interestingly, before we even get to that, we're trying again, John.
Brother.
You can hear now?
Nah, still, man, faint.
So we're talking about.
I don't know, man, what's going on tonight, man. I guess they didn't want me to talk tonight about that Daniel Penny case.
Well, we just finished that. So I'm talking about Luigi Maglione. So we're just getting to that. Let me get some of your chips. All right. Luigi and his manifesto, right? And he's talking about what the effect of healthcare. And the irony of the fact that his family owned all of those healthcare services. And his grandfather.
Wait. I didn't get this history. Go ahead. Tell me more.
His grandfather owns, his family, the patriarch, owned a series. Well, it's alleged until it's proven guilty, Benev. Right? You know that's the law. Right? Whereas you might be right, but until he's found guilty, it's alleged. They own a couple golf courses. They own a few homes. They're actually valued more than Brian Thompson, and their money was made from healthcare. Not only that, but unfortunately, Luigi had an issue with his back. So he was suffering from that. And his manifesto found, like, they don't want to read his manifesto because they feel that the average person would empathize with his situation. right? Call it. It is kind of crazy, right? It is kind of crazy that he killed the man in cold blood, right? He killed the man in cold blood. The one he called alleged. He wrote a manifesto, and now he's fighting extradition. Come to New York. Proved it. And he was sloppy as you start, because he was found in less than a week. That person got $90,000 to find him. They're muted.
They said they're not going to pay them out. Good night, Star Girl. How are you?
Why they're not going to pay?
They said because they didn't call. The way that they made the phone call, it wasn't to crime. They call Crime Stopper instead of. It's just ridiculous.
They got paid I didn't hear that part. They need to go to.
They're trying to avoid paying it.
Right. You're crazy. Why?
They're trying to avoid paying.
They better give up the $90,000. Right? How dare them offer $90,000 and then want to take it back?
Well, because maybe they didn't have it. They just want to be talk crap.
That's cheating. But what do you think, though? What do you think of the irony of the whole situation?
That they found a person that, hey, because of the money, they found people. They got people.
I'm talking about. Yeah, that too. But I'm talking about the fact that
his family is in the health industry.
Like made millions from the healthcare system.
I didn't know that. That's news to me. Wow.
Right? They made millions of dollars from the healthcare system.
My thing is, what is his beef? Is he upset that he was getting paid so much money? Was he denied by him for his services? You know, what is his beef? That's what inquiring minds want to know.
He felt that the healthcare system overcharged individuals.
So why didn't he tell his family that too?
That's where my argument is coming in. Right? What is it? Charity starts at home.
Like, hey, ask your family to provide free health care for everyone.
I'm glad. Make sure you go to the Christmas party on Saturday, Star Girl. Friday, the 20th. There's actually one on the 17th too. I find it crazy though. How he targeted that man.
I don't know.
I drove by there.
The location?
Purposefully. I purposely drove by there. I purposely drove by there to see the location. I mean, it's broad. I mean, like literally, because it's like what 6th Avenue and 54th Street. All right. And you know what that reminds me of?
What?
In I think it's 96, right? When Versace's lover, he killed him outside his home, right? In Miami, right? And it's just like it's cold blood, right? It's just cold blood how he did it, right? And so that's kind of like what this reminds me of. Like, wow, like, you know, and also unfortunately, what happened in cold blood to James Davis, right? James Davis at in 97, right? You know, Versace was like their same age. They both was 50 years old. Versace was 50. Right? 50 when he killed him too. Back in 97. Right? I just think of like these crazy cold-blooded killings. So it's just I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell us about it. What are your thoughts? Like, Wagwan, Lars. Right? What do you guys think out there in radio land? What do you think of the craziness of this murder and the irony? I think part of it, the irony of it is what's driving me crazy, right? The irony.
That, hey, what he grew up with, what he was around his entire life, what he's familiar with, what his family became rich off of.
Yeah, but not only that, but think about it. He's the valedictorian of his senior class. He went to UPenn. He's an engineer. He's brilliant. And he lost his mind. He lost his cotton-picking mind. I just realized what Nara said. What did he say? Good job, as usual. Wishing your dominated games was as good. Yeah, I wish you could play too, right? So definitely indoctrination, right? It's just crazy. I think they're gonna file insanity. I think his lawyer is gonna file insanity.
Yeah, because they started to touch upon that he got, because of his spinal injuries, he get brain fog and things like that. What does that mean? Brain fog could not lead you to committing craziness.
Yeah, but hey, Benev, let's get real. Let's get real, Benev. Hey, Maureen, good night. How are you doing? Let's get real. If his lawyers can prove, right? If his lawyers can prove insanity, he gets off. He goes to a beach home. He chills, kind of like a halfway house. His family got money. But would you actually defend him if that was your kid, Dr. Bryant?
Defend him?
Yeah.
Would I defend him?
Yeah.
If that was my kid?
Yeah.
His mother was looking for him.
Again, would you defend him though? Seeing how cold-blooded he killed Brian Thompson?
No.
Really?
Yes. No.
What's the differ? I think you would.
No.
Hey, Burlot. Hey, Chair. How are you? What do you think, AM? Would you defend him?
How does a son of a capitalist family become an anti-capitalist?
Well, that's true. But you think about it, right? You move away from what you're from, because if you think, remember, he's a very learned kid. So being so learned, you also develop ideologies, right? You do. So yeah, that can happen, right? So again, the question becomes, I think even if my son, I'm going to defend him. I'm going to defend him. I hope that he gets temporary insanity. It sounds funny.
Well, I'm tired of talking about the murderer. I am. There's so much other things happening. I know they took over. Seriously, the young innocent migrant that got murdered didn't get any action time. You know, they passed briefly, hey, they're looking for the 3 or 4 suspects that attacked the migrant young boys that got attacked, but the one that got murdered, they was like, yeah, you know, the other CEO took more precedent over the migrant one that got killed. So both of them got killed in the street. One got more attention because of the money and the $90,000 that was put up. And then the other one, you know, they mention it once or twice and that's it.
Wait. So everybody's like said that you're full of crap, right? Look at this. The person, what did they say? Either way, he's losing. Look what Chucky said. She would defend him, right? Like how Blind Joe said he would pardon his son. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
No, I would not. I would not.
Look at this. Lakeisha said, if it was my child, I would definitely defend him. So everybody's saying you're full of crap.
No, it's just my opinion. I decide that I'm not going to do that.
They left him leaning on Marxist style from what I'm hearing. I don't know about all of that, right? I went to a school similar to UPenn. I don't have Marxist tendency. I'm not a socialist. I'm a moderate thinker. I'm not to the right nor to the left. So I'm not sure. But you know what's interesting, Dennis? He went to private school for high school. He went to a private college, right? He spent the money. He lived off the money. He had a fine life. What, all of a sudden the Marxism took over? That doesn't make sense. I think he was insane. I think he was temporarily insane. That's what I think. I think he's going to get off. The migrants, it's not that the migrant is not relevant compared to Luigi, but it's the act, which is different, right? But that's Dr. Bryant's Marxist side coming out, talking about the migrants more important than Luigi. Why you look like you're frozen there, Dr. Bryant? Are you
I'm
okay?
not frozen.
Now you just look frozen. I think murder is murder, but the heinousness and the fact that he had a manifesto and is a clear assassination. United Healthcare is the 5th largest company with the GDP, gross national product, GNP or GDP, domestic product, whatever it stands for, on the S&P 500. So you think about the value of the company. I think that makes a difference in terms of the conversation. It's like if they murdered a senator or they murdered a high-ranking official, a police officer, it's more of a grabber than a migrant. Not that the lives, well, yeah, the lives seem to be more important. I don't know how, the lives seem to be more important. From what I understand, his job was to save the company money by denying people coverage. That's part of what
he did that. He did that. They said that he had AI set up to deny.
Yeah.
So after a while, you do get frustrated.
And he did. And people, that's why that's why people, they're trying to deny access to his manifesto, because his manifesto shows the unfairness of the healthcare system. Remember.
Wait, so one of the concerns that they have now is that they think that other CEOs will be attacked the same way.
Yeah,
that is their fear. Yeah, of course, we usually have that. But you know, they're worried about that.
Yeah.
Someone's going around putting their wanted signs all over New York City.
So they don't want his manifesto to be out there in the real world. because
they're raising money for the man. They're raising money for him.
yeah, right. And look, over 40,000 people deny coverage, right? So people are aware, and that's what I'm talking about with sympathy, right? That he loses mind. I was saying,
Hey Renee, how are you? She said
Hey,
Luigi
Renee.
was a sympathetic defendant, and Brian Thompson was a very wealthy man.
right? Net worth 43 million. To think about it, right? And that 43 million was based upon the backs of people. And I was saying on a personal level, I remember last year, actually earlier this year, starting last year, where my coverages were absolutely unequivocally ridiculous. Remember, I had to come off one of my medication.
Yeah.
Because they were asking almost $4,000.
And what's crazy is they're cutting down on the amount of medication that one can get, and then their salary is out the roof.
Yep.
That's the contradiction. People who are sick can't get the coverage, but you're ballooning your salary for your lifestyle.
$10.2 million.
Yeah.
Right? $10.2 million a year. So, again, it goes back, right? That makes the crime more to look at. As sad as it sounds. That's what driving America. Right.
Money.
Well,
that's why people, let me tell you something. That's why a whole bunch of people voted for Trump. Because they think that, hey, he has money. He'll be able to lead. He'll be able to do this. He'll be money, money, money. He gets more airtime, yes, because of the way and the method in which the crime was committed. But also, money, money, money has a lot to do with it. Money and power.
I don't think that's what it is this time around.
I do. Yes, it was crazy how he set it up. It was a vicious crime. It was all of that. But guess what? If it happened to Joe Snow and the same thing happened, do you think that Joe Snow would have gotten as much coverage? Absolutely not.
I was talking about not the same thing this time around as in Donald Trump. But again, you can't compare Brian Thompson to Joe Schmo.
Oh.
You can't. Although it's both a loss of a life. It's not the same.
Yeah, the same thing happened to one of your neighbors down the block. The attention, the amount of money.
No. It's like you're comparing the life of Martin Luther King, right? To the life of John Smith. It's not the same. The effect on you can't. It sounds bad, but that life is not valued the same.
That's a problem.
No, it isn't the problem.
It is a problem.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
His life is not more important than Joe Snow down the block.
It absolutely is, because his effect on society is different.
Why? Because he was the owner, he was the CEO.
No. Okay, let's take a look at
more important.
Right. Hold on. Brian Thompson's death at this moment, his murder, his assassination, is making us look at the healthcare system and the impact that it has on everyday lives.
Okay.
Is the migrants' death having us take a look at impact on healthcare? What is the migrant death looking at other than it's a heinous crime? What is it doing? When Martin Luther King died and got killed, it impacted generations. Although some of us are losing sight of that now, 56 years later. Exactly, Renee. The Brian Thompson's killing was symbolic. It was about what he symbolized. And that's a fact, right? The migrant's death. Hey, what's up, Todd? Right? The migrant's death, what did it symbolize? Just a heinous crime. Heinous crimes that we see every day. George Floyd's death. Did it symbolize something? It built and affected Donald Trump being president, because it showed some of the brutality, although police brutality is not greater, and you and I both know that it's nowhere near the amount of crimes that we do against each other. But it made a statement. So lives and the loss of a life can and will matter. Period. There's no way around it.
Okay.
Donald Trump getting shot. What do we look at? The security of our leaders.
But they didn't look at the phoniness either.
Again, that's your personal piece. Had that been Kamala Harris, would your view be different?
No, I would say the same thing.
About Kamala Harris?
Yeah, if she was...
That they shot her?
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
That they didn't look at the hypocrisy?
Yep.
I totally don't believe you.
Okay, don't believe me. And so...
All right? Anybody believe her? Just like I wouldn't defend my kid?
No. Listen, I defend my kids when I know that they did the right thing. But when you're premeditated on murdering someone to say, hey, just because of, I'm not defending you. Because you didn't create life. I'm not.
I think on paper, I think a lot of times when we talk about things in life, we're not in that situation.
Because here's the thing, that is a reflection. I could just imagine how his mother or his parents feel, because that is a reflection of you and your upbringing and what you raise and how you raise your child. Overall, they didn't raise him that way. So that's a conflict with who they are, because they raised him, with the best of the best to be the best of the best. And then for him to go rogue completely, it is traumatizing to parents. To say I'm going to be jumping on the bandwagon, every murderer's mom is going to be like, no, they're innocent. No, if they're guilty, they're guilty. Damn it. That's it.
I don't know. I think that's hard to say.
For real.
I think you're saying it because you're not in the situation.
No, I'm saying it because this is who I am.
All right. I hear you. I'm going to take your word for it. That's a wrap. Amity. That's a cap. If it happened to Harris, everything would shut down. No migrant killing would make the news. I agree. Full 100. If Kamala Harris was shot at, even now that she lost the election, it would make news. Now, will it make news? It would dominate the news.
She's still vice president. If something happened to any of the former presidential elect Clinton, whoever, yes, it takes president over everything because they play over and over and over and over on the news.
But that's because the life. Okay, So let's move on because we're gonna agree to disagree, and we're running out of time. Jay-Z put out a statement which I thought was stupid.
Why you say that? Please explain.
I agree. Yes, that's true. Going back to the Kamala Harris situation or any other elected leader, right? Put out a statement that said he's not guilty, and that this 30-something-year woman is try to take him down. Now, I have a question. Did anybody expect for him to write a statement that stated that that I am guilty and I'm sorry for anything that I might have caused?
Listen,
I just want to know.
that's where you hire. I agree with you, Dr. Brian. I could not defend my son. That was heinous. Thank you, Star Girl. So here it is. When you are being accused of a crime in that magnitude, that's why you hire attorneys to defend you. So
again, but I'm saying I got
well,
what started.
put out any statement.
We're moving on to the new topic. The statement of we're talking about Jay-Z.
Yes, that's why you hire attorneys
to do what?
Write statements, to defend you, to clear your name.
But I'm just saying, people, it hit the news, and I'm watching the ticker tape, and everybody's like, Jay-Z said he's not guilty. And the girl is a fraud and try to take her now. And I'm sitting there going, he's going to get up and say, yeah, Sean and I really.
But remember, wait. Remember, that's what you had said about the whole Cassie thing. Do you recall that your words was like, oh, she's just using him for the money, blah, 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 blah.
That I didn't say.
You did say it was about the money. You did say that.
Wait. I want to be clear. A lot of these things are about the money. They are. There's no denying that. People see at different levels the opportunity to make money. Some of these, people hate when I make this statement, right? Some of these young girls, and the reason why I'm saying it is because I see it. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's a lot of these girls, like, if you're not careful, you're going to get in trouble. A lot of women always, not all, but a lot of women always take the personality of, oh, they're little girls. But you don't know that sometimes. Because some of these girls eat McDonald's and Chinese food, and they look older.
Thank you, Renee.
Right?
That is true.
Right? And so, but, a girl who's 16, 17, 14, 15, some of them look really old. They're dressed up. They have on their makeup. They have this. And there's no consequence. For me, I believe there needs to be a consequence both ways. Now.
Okay, wait.
Wait.
Remember when you were younger, you wanted to be older half of the time?
That's not the point, right? The point is that you can fool people, right? But I know that if I'm 14, 15 years old, 16 years old, and I know I look older, I have something that says I'm older, I have no consequence for that behavior. So I can do whatever I want.
And that's why it's important for parents to be actively active in their children's lives.
I think that if some of these young people will understand that there's a consequence for your behavior, they're going to cut it out too.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Look, when we think about, you know what just came to my mind? Freaknik. So, a lot of these young folks, a lot of, teenagers and, leaving teenagers in their 20s, acting a fool in ATL, doing all types of stuff. Even the police officers, everybody was doing all types of stuff, right? Age, they were young, old, or whatever. Yeah, there was no quite consequence. The police are supposed to be there to actually shut it down, but they're participating in the event.
Well, not
So
to
you're
shut it down.
saying
They're there to make sure things were safe.
Oh yeah, that's why some of them were caught in the video too, right? They
Yeah.
were
No,
making things sure.
it's just like the West Indian Day Parade, though, right? A lot some of the police officers are caught dancing, and they're not, they're participating because sometimes they're told to interact, right? Nikisha says, I don't believe Jay-Z is guilty. They are just trying to tear down a black man. If you raped her, it is a criminal matter, not a civil matter. And that's part of the conversation that we're having, right? The girl in the J Saga is looking for a payday.
Oh.
That could be very true, right? 24 years later, right? You're 37 years old and you're coming out with this story, right?
My only concern, hold on. You know what my only wondering is, why didn't they file it during the time that they had the window to file when the governor gave time? Yeah, for people to, if there was any assault or whatever, why didn't they file it during that period? So that's all I'm like, oh, why didn't they do it during that time? Because that way it would have been the perfect window for that, because they gave extensions. So I don't know, because Cassie did it within that window.
Listen,
that was just my wondering.
Oh, yeah. It's a real wondering, right? It's a real wondering, right? Because there were opportunities, right? There were opportunities to see retribution, right?
And when they filed it originally, they could have put both. So I'm wondering.
And not only that, you could file. You could file both criminal and civil, right? You can file both. Because if he's found guilty of one crime, like O.J. Simpson, he was found not guilty, but then he was found guilty of
stupidity, stealing from his own thing.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I said he was found guilty for stealing his trophies and things like that.
No, not that. I'm talking about, yes, that's true.
Oh.
That's why he went to jail for all those years. But I'm talking about with Nicole Brown Simpson and Cato, he was found for violating their civil rights. I remember he had to pay millions of dollars to the Brown family, right? For that violation. So, like, I'm agreeing that the young lady, instead of waiting until she's 37 years old, at 18, at 20, at 22, at 25, but you waited for 24 years. Now that P. Diddy's out. I'm not saying he's guilty or not. I'm just simply saying that for me, as an educator, I see some of the crap. I saw some of the crap when I was in school. I saw it. I saw a lot of these young people, how they behave. And I said to everyone, I said to everyone,
just be careful.
Not just be like, why is it that the only crime that a young person cannot be charged for is the ability to say yes to sex? That's the only crime they cannot be charged for. Once they're underage and say yes to sex, it's statutory rape. But they can be charged. They can think straight when they're selling drugs. They can think straight when they're bullying. They can think straight when they commit a murder. They can think straight when they do a robbery. But when you say yes to sex, you can't think straight. Why?
Listen, I'm not a part of that conversation that you're having right there.
But
So,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
what I'm saying is, I believe Stickle.
I do agree with you.
Right?
I do agree with Stickle right here. Rape is a very serious traumatic event.
Right.
There
Rape
should be
is
no
very serious.
status of limitation for filing, which is true.
I do agree
That's
with
why
that.
some
I
people
think
don't
that is
come
correct.
out, because the thing is, it is traumatic. And to top it off, depending on what treatment you get from
about
the
treatment,
detective
right?
or whatever, it is a stigma. So to get over your trauma is one thing, to be strong enough to speak about it. So it is
right. No, I think there's a difference between conventional rape, right? I believe this. I personally believe there's a difference between conventional rape, predatory rape, molestation, right? Right. I believe there's a significant difference. Like anybody who does predatory, molestation, and what we consider to be conventional rape, they deserve to be neutered. Right? Spade. Was it neutered or spade?
Well, guess what? You keep
Becoming
forgetting.
eunuch.
You're only saying it from one aspect, or you're looking at it from a male aspect, but there's females who rape.
Yeah, well, that's
young
true
girls
too. Right. I agree that, right. I mean, my point is that I believe that there's a difference between saying yes, making an effort to do it,
okay,
and what we just spoke about. There's a difference. If you're at somebody's hotel room with the intent to do something,
well, you don't know.
exactly.
She said she was drugged, so who knows? Who
No,
knows?
I got that. I heard that she was drugged and she was victimized. Why were you there?
Yes.
13?
I don't know. Everybody want to be a celebrity, babes.
Right.
Everybody want attention. If they're not,
why is a parent allowing?
Here's the thing: a lot of young people. No, here's a lot of young people are fascinated by celebrity. Not only young people, but older ones too.
They're groupies.
So any opportunity they get to hang out with a celebrity, they're gonna jump on it. And unfortunately, a lot of these celebrities take advantage of people.
Right. I mean, yes. Right. It can and does happen.
So not everyone, just because they are celebrity, don't mean that they have the right intention. So it is what it is.
But sometimes what I often tell people is that these people all put on their pants one leg at a time.
Okay, do you see this? Rudy, you're talking about statutory rape.
Well, and again, see, I think I would like to add the word predatory statutory rape.
Renee, we need to have you back on the show.
I
said, Renee, we need to have her back on the show.
Right. Again, blanket. Because some countries, you got married at 13. It's not rape. Mm-hmm. In the United States, under 18 that's what I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about. Right. There's a total
we can't solve the world problem overnight. We cannot. Their definition of what is legal, what is not, some cultural things we can't fix, unfortunately.
Yeah, but again, all I'm saying is that we need to revisit the law and look at predatory and remove the word statutory.
Here's the thing. So if you have some countries, some cultures and countries who are marrying people at the age of 12, 13, old men, 12, 13, and they come up here, they're going to think it's acceptable?
Yes, because they're legally married.
And here it is. That's their culture. They're pushing it too. But enough of this sad topic, and we only have a minute left. I just want to give shout out to people who celebrating birthdays, especially when Marilyn John Clark tomorrow, a couple of birthday celebrations. December is full of pride, full of festive things. So, you know what? Let's take time to celebrate, people. Enough sad news. The year's coming to the end. Let's recap and count our blessings from January to December, because God's been good to us. We're still here. We're still kicking. We're still alive. And you guys are joining us. That's even better. So on a way to say, you know, I'll say this, Texas is more festive than New York. As a way to say, you know, just reflect and just be thankful. Oh, Roderick, send my gift.
I'm so glad I won't be here.
So I just
I'm so
appreciate
glad
you
I won't
all.
be- Yes.
You won't be here where? You won't be here where?
In New York. All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. We love you for tuning in. We love you for the conversation, for the back and forth, and just for supporting us throughout this wonderful year. Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, just that in memoriam, I would like to recognize my brother-in-law, whose birthday was I believe yesterday was his birthday. He would have been 30. He died 4 years ago. He would have been 37 yesterday. Also to my grandmother in memoriam as well. She would have been 103 on Sunday. And again, happy belated birthday to my twin boys, Christian and Carter. They became grown, and that's it. That's for right now. And happy birthday to all the censures that I might have missed. I know that Stickle, Stickle's birthday.
Happy belated.
No, is Stickle birthday the 16th or the 12th?
Well, Stickle, happy birthday, belated, happy recent birthday. If it's today, we celebrate you and thank you for being a listener.
And also, happy birthday to my high school mate, Jorge Blanco.
Oh, it's today. Happy birthday, Stickle. Happy birthday to you.
Today's the 12th. What's the date?
Today is the 12th.
What's today's date?
The 12th. Happy birthday.
Today is the 12th. Oh, okay. Yes. Happy birthday, Stickle. Happy birthday. See? Happy birthday. Stickle 1971. Yeah. See? I look at that. I remember your birthday. G-Mo Christmas. Every year he wants to kick my patootie for not remembering his birthday, and I remember this year.
Thank you, Stickle.
Happy birthday, Stickle. Everyone, please do enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Go out. Oh, two things of importance. If you live in Brooklyn, there are two major events. There's a reception for the 6th, 7th Precinct Council on Tuesday, December 17th at Grace Tabernacle at the corner of Remsen and Avenue A for the 6-7 Clergy Council. And then next week, Friday, at 4112 Utica Avenue, there's a toy giveaway and a tree lighting ceremony right at Patio Park. Bring your kid, come out, meet Santa, enjoy. God bless you. I thank God for being able to be here another day with you.
Amen.
And thank God, Joanne, I get to see your beautiful face one more weekend. John, sorry you're having trouble. Andre, thank you for joining us. Sophia, and most importantly, our villagers.
Yes.
One more year upon them. No, you don't know that song? Dr. Brian?
No, I do know the song, but
why
we're gonna.
Why don't you sing?
No, because it's
sing, just sing 2 lines for Kevin on his birthday.
We're getting off. Next time, I'll meet with Kevin and meet him in person and sing for him in person. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.